and welcome to another episode of the May Contain Action podcast. I am one of your hosts, Paul, aka Action Jackson, and my co-host, as always, unless he isn't available for whatever reason, is of course the one and only the Trevor May.
What's up?
Hey, Trevor May.
Unavailable for any of the 58 reasons that I'm not available for.
It's got a lot of stuff going on. He's a busy man.
I'm busy.
Man.
I don't want to be busy. I want to play Minecraft, but
many ventures. I want to play Minecraft.
Hey, I mean, also when I'm playing Minecraft, then I'm busy again. You know what I mean? Like
it's true. No, it's true. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. No, that makes sense.
Depends on who needs you, whether or not you're busy. You know?
You
know what I mean?
Who needs you? Well, I have a little message that went off. So sorry. Oh gosh, hope that didn't come in the.
Oh,
thing.
sorry,
Okay.
Podcast. I know that's really bothersome.
Oh, sorry about that. Anyway,
Sorry, audio podcast.
This has been a little bit, obviously. I think we should just go round table, except for PM, because no one cares what he's doing, and just talk about like what's going on. You know what I mean? What's up?
Updates.
Updates. I'll go first.
What are you doing? What are you up to?
What are you doing? Well, it feels like my career is sunsetting, but it always does. So
Aging
that's
out?
nothing. That's nothing new.
Are you aging out? Thanks, Khalif, for that, by the way.
Yeah. Really feel like I'm aging out. More gray hairs. We were just talking about this beforehand, before the show went live. More gray hairs than I've ever had in my life. So that's a thing. My son is somehow already almost 7 months. Can't believe that's been 7 months. So that's weird. I realize that I'm encouraging him to crawl while also not realizing that when he does crawl, now we have a big problem because he can get places.
Yeah.
So we don't want that necessarily. But then you feel bad because you're holding your kid back developmentally. And was he just not going to walk through his whole life? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just no winning. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's not really like a win-win. Yeah, exactly. So that's happening. I get my car wrapped. So that's cool. That's a cool thing that's happening. Yeah, we're wrapping it, baby. Yeah, we're wrapping it. We're going. Yeah, little Tessie Y.
What color?
We're going satin black. Satin
yeah,
black.
dude.
Yeah.
That's why you said, "Hey, man, is that satin?" Said,
I did say that. Yeah,
it is satin because
Yes.
Matt's a little too spray painty looking. To
Exactly.
me.
Exactly.
Batmobile-y.
Yes. So I'm following in Trevor's footsteps, getting my Tesla wrapped. That's exciting. Other than that, nothing else really going. We're coming. Why
do you have a podcast?
We're coming to the end of Crown. Crown Channel's kind of going. That's actually nice. I will say that's been pretty cool. Crown Channel's kind of coming towards the end of the season here. They haven't re-upped for a new season, which, fingers crossed. And it's going well. We're actually the most popular channel or the most popular show on the channel, which is pretty cool because there's some really good channels on there. So that's really good and very flattering. And then also related news, G4 is no more. So that happened. Officially gone. Yeah, just poof, thin air. Apparently people found out through Twitter that they were fired or that they had no job. Yeah, they found out like the day it happened. So they're like, yeah, don't bother coming to the office. Like, why? Because you don't have a job anymore.
So like the whole company's just gone.
Yeah, canceled the whole thing.
Interesting. I wonder how long that's been. They didn't get purchased or anything. They're just
no, they did. Well, not technically not purchased. They were a Comcast property.
Okay.
Comcast brought it back in 2020. They started out on, I think, Pluto TV and YouTube and Twitch. I think those are the three main ones. And then they got like onto the actual like YouTube TV. So they were on actual like Comcast channels. And then this year they were like, we're just not getting the viewership. So done. So
hate to
bummer.
see it. Hate to see it, but like, heavily produced, high cost video game content. It's just not necessary anymore.
Yeah, I say that on a mid-cost, highly produced video game show.
But I would say that mid-cost is like even the mid. Like you don't need to go. We don't need to go into the. You don't need to have a whole set and you know what I mean. Like
you don't.
It's 2022. Like you don't need. It's way cheaper to produce these things at the same level.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. I think that it's tough because once they jump to YouTube TV. And it's Comcast also, by the way, right? So it's like they're a juggernaut. So they're going to dump money into this thing. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of their setups or everything. I mean, there's like the whole set, the stage is just like amazing.
Yeah.
So they're doing all that. They're paying like top tier hosts. You had Golden Boy in there. You had Gina Darling in there. Like just really, really good hosts. I would imagine not a little money. And so you're just not going to see that return necessarily for like the average person who's just going to watch like Asmongold be a dick on Elden Ring for 4 hours straight. You know what I mean? You're not going to, or so I should dick around. I don't know. You're just not going to get that same person.
Dick around was the correct, I believe. Yeah.
Dick around.
Asmon's a great dude, actually.
I don't think he's a dick. I meant dick around.
Yes. Around, just bopping. Exactly. XQC just watching whatever and then popping into whatever and then just randomly doing Minecraft speedruns in the middle of it and then moving back and just like so anyway on the chair, 100%. It's just
that's what's going on.
That's what lives. What about what about like the smoke barbecue and smoker? Have you done any of that or is it getting too cold?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, don't get me started, dude.
I know that
talk about
gets
that
you up in the morning, right?
What's that?
That's what gets you up in the morning.
Oh my gosh, gets me rock solid. Yeah, I love it. I freaking it's my favorite thing to do. I've been just mastering the charcoal grill. The charcoal grill is a fickle beast. Getting that kind of nice. I just did some pork chops recently, some like 2-inch thick pork chops. I smoked them on there, reverse seared them. And
that means searing them from the center and then coming out. Yes.
No, that doesn't make any sense. That's not what that is. That's a complete lie. So a reverse sear is I got all the charcoals lit. I put them on one side of the grill. I put the pork chops on the other side. You cover it. Sits at around 275, 300 degrees for like half hour. You get that center exactly where you need it, about 120. Take them off. You move the charcoal to the middle. And I personally, because I have no patience to just blow on that thing, I got a freaking leaf blower out. I just went to town on those. It's got them white hot.
How animated are you on my camera right now? I can't see you, but I know you're just going ham.
Oh, dude, just like
standing up,
going nuts. I posted on my Discord. It's freaking awesome. Sparks flying everywhere. Got that thing hot as Hades. Threw the chops back on. Got a hell of a char. I mean,
Paul,
pork chops underrated.
You need a channel where you do that.
You're probably right.
I mean, only unless it's your thing and you don't need to put it on the fucking internet. Like everything doesn't need to be on the internet.
No, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
I'm just saying, moving forward, if you're like, my career is sunsetting, your career's not sunsetting. You just might need to take a little. You might need to just take a little
detour.
Go off the side, like literally be like, oh, this thing I can make thousands of videos on this shit because I love it and I want to do it all the time. Like that's true. You just got to pursue those things that you just want to do all the time.
Yes.
And if content is the thing you do, then you make it around it. But
yeah.
But if that makes it less fun, then don't fucking do it.
Then don't. Yes. No, you're reminding me that I actually need to do some cooking streams. I promised those for a charity. I need to do this. So I still need to get on that. I might love it.
You probably will love it. And not only that, you know a lot more than most people do. And I don't know if you know that truly. If you're like, oh, you guys don't know this very basic stuff that I've been doing for a long time and that makes everything delicious. And we're like, no, we're all idiots and we order DoorDash every day.
I do assume that most people know what I know. I actually do.
I don't.
Like everyone knows how to do this. Like that's a thing.
I do not.
I didn't. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's very kind. It's very kind.
I'm doing baking.
That's
what I'm doing. I'm trying to get
baking.
Yes, I've started to dabble in the baking.
Nice.
I got a bread maker. I told you about that.
Yeah, I know.
Bread makers for old women.
Exciting.
I understand.
Old elementary teachers have bread.
Yes, like in the 70s. They're like, I'm gonna whip up a loaf of bread, but in reality, if you're just like normal using bread, like for example, if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna bake my, we're not gonna go buy white bread. I'm just gonna bake a loaf of white bread real quick, and you don't want to make it a whole thing. You just throw it in, and then it's done in 2 hours, and you don't have to do anything, and it's good.
That is nice. I feel like I honestly think bread is underrated. Whenever I have homemade bread,
it's awesome.
It absolutely slaps.
It's so much better than store-bought most of the time.
It's so good. I mean, the only thing that I've had that comes close to actual homemade bread is Heidelberg bread. I don't know if you have that in Seattle. Heidelberg, no, but I'm sure it's like really fresh too. Like that's probably why it's so good. Yeah, it's good. A little bit of butter. Come on.
Oh, butter.
Undefeated.
Reminded me, we used so much goddamn butter yesterday. But banana bread's my thing, right? I love it.
Okay.
And
Nice.
there is a way to do it, and I'm honing it in. I the first time underbaked it. It fell apart, turned into pudding. But the edging, like so basically, there's no like banana bread setting. You have to kind of like test a couple settings that might be the right one, depending on the one you have. They're all kind of slightly different. And I might have chose the one that was 15 minutes shorter. When it needed, if 15 minutes more of the baking process would have probably taken it to the finish line. It just got it. So like what happened was the middle just never got done, and then when it settles, it just starts to settle more and more and starts to like get heavy, and that's what happened. So then it just fell. So it turned into a bread bowl with like batter in the middle, but the edges were really well baked, and the flavor was phenomenal. So I'm like, the mix is good. It's just the setting. I think the setting's wrong. So now I'm waiting for more bananas to age so that I can make.
You gotta wait for
a couple weeks. So
there should be a section at most supermarkets that sell aged bananas.
I mean, yeah.
They're not like they're moving all that product. No one's buying all those fresh bananas. Set a couple aside for the aged ones because I want to make banana bread now, today, like now.
It's our little like local QFC where everyone knows each other. QFC is our grocery store where everyone knows each other. So I could probably be like, hey, aged bananas. I make lots of banana bread. So if you guys do it, I'll give you a loaf under the table. Like and they'll save them in the back for me. I bet I could do that.
Give you a loaf under the table sounds.
Give me a loaf. I play baseball. Give me a loaf. So baking. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna make a nice brule.
It sounds gross.
It's a very basic like French bread.
Like
a big circle loaf. It's one of those big circle loaves that's like crusty, and then you just have it with. It's like you'd eat it with dinner, just like fluffy on the inside.
Oh,
it's literally 4 ingredients: salt, water, flour, and yeast. That's it.
That's it.
But you have to like prove it, and it's all about proving and then folding it the right amount of times and stuff, like making sure the dough is right.
Okay.
But it's very easy technically, but you can also mess it up real easy. So
naturally,
I'm gonna. That's my nice little Saturday. So baking's in there.
Love that.
Which has been really freaking fun. And last night I made some freaking Hawaiian roll cinnamon rolls, dude. Oh my god!
What you made Hawaiian roll? Those are 2 of the best rolls combined.
You take 12 pack of the Hawaiian rolls. What is the brand? King's. King.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
those are great. You put them in a pan. You just put you melt a stick of butter. Like a one whole, the 8 teaspoons of butter, whatever.
Yeah.
You put half on the bottom of the pan. You flip it over. You coat the outside.
Okay.
Right. Then you put cinnamon. You take it out. You put it on a plate. You put cinnamon sugar and cinnamon and brown sugar mix in the bottom. Then you put it back in.
Okay.
Then you pop holes in on top, and then you put cinnamon sugar on top. And then you put the rest of the butter on top. Put it in the oven. Then you make your whipped cream frosting or your cream cheese frosting with just cream and powdered sugar and just normal frosting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You beat you mix that all up. 10 minutes later, they close out. You put the frosting on. Boom, done.
Oh my gosh.
And you pull them out, dude, and they are oh my god,
dude. Oh,
and there's no like baking anything to do, like no dough to rise. Like they're already made.
Dude, okay. Well, this just turned into a food podcast because I want to tell you about 2 things that I've been enjoying recently.
Okay, tell me.
That I'd love to make. So, okay, first one is the dinner because you have dinner first, right? Very simple thing to make. Anyone can make this. All right, you get yourself not a ribeye. What am I trying to say? A roast. Yeah, or like a ribeye roast, like some sort of big roast, whatever. Crock pot. Most people have that. Whatever. Throw it in there. Cook it to whatever temperature you want. I mean, I think you just till it's done, falls apart. That's how you know it's ready. Anyway,
you cannot ruin something in a crock pot.
You can't mess it up.
High is 4 hours, low is 8 hours.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So you throw that baby in there, maybe put a little beer in there or something. I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah. Just throw that in there. Then you buy yourself, you're talking about the rolls. You know those rolls that are basically the Hawaiian rolls, but they're not sweet. They're more like Thanksgiving rolls.
Yeah. The big ones.
Yeah.
They're potato rolls. They're potato rolls, but they're not like the sweet
exactly.
bread. They're potato. Yeah.
And you pull them
off.
A
little yellower.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you have those. You cut that, boom, right down the middle. Just cut it right in half. Fillet that bitch. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then you're gonna want to take that meat you just made. You're gonna lay that on the buns. And you're gonna saute some onions and butter. Butter, garlic, little onion. Saute that. Get that real nice. You lay that on top of the meat that you just laid down. On top of all those, and then after that, you put some cheese, provolone cheese, on that meat. Whatever cheese you want. I like provolone. I think it's the best. for what we're doing here. You put that on. You put the other half of the bread back down on it. You put that in the oven, 425, 10, 15 minutes, not even 10 minutes, 8 minutes. That cheese is all melty, all getting into the meat and the onions. You pull it out, and all you have to do, you pull your sandwich right off. Perfect thing for a group.
It's like the cinnamon rolls, but you just made a bunch of sandwiches, and they just
exactly. You just pull it right off. Now you got a bunch of little tiny slider sandwiches, all delicious. You cannot mess up the roast. It's delicious. It is unbelievable.
Beef roast. So that's a beef roast and onion. Like that's a little beef roast and onion.
I don't know what you'd call it. Like sliders. They're like sliders.
So conversely, just throwing this out there, or if you're more into this, you could do a pork roast.
Yes.
Throw that on there. Hey, are you ready for this though? Pork roast. Then you get some thick cut ham.
Oh.
With that on, pickles, mustard, Swiss. Now they're Cubans.
Come on. You kidding me?
Same thing. Just do exactly the same thing.
30. Oh my gosh. All about food. That sounds amazing.
I'm making that tomorrow. Well, I'll make some banana bread. I don't know.
I'm probably going to make some too. Oh my gosh. Dude.
Okay. We'll have the brew.
Oh, brew. And then, so that's dinner. So you have dinner, right? And you got to move on to dessert. Dessert couldn't be easier. Could not be easier. You go to Price Chopper, you go to Costco, wherever you get that big plastic thing of croissants. Again, you're probably having a lot of people over. That's why you have so many sandwiches. Big thing of croissants. All right. The big ones. You cut those babies in half, fillet them again. You fillet all those. You put those in the oven with a light bit of butter on them. Light bit of butter. Put them in the oven. I don't know. As long as it tastes to lightly toast them. They're croissants. Doesn't take very long. A couple minutes.
No.
Doesn't take very long at all. You pull those babies out. You put a little cinnamon sugar on those, like you're talking about. A little cinnamon sugar on the croissants. You put your vanilla ice cream on top of that, and sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon sugar. I cannot tell you. I cannot express to you how good that is. It is so simple. There's not a lot going on, and it is nuts.
I'm about to add one thing and modify that for you real quick.
All right. What do you got?
Stew and spice some apples and put those in there in the croissants.
Ooh.
With the ice cream on top of it. So now you have the apple with the cinnamon sugar.
Fall dessert. Oh my gosh.
God bless America.
Apple. Oh God. Can we do a may contain food podcast?
Well, that's
oh my
what
God.
This is now, I guess.
Sweet heavens.
So anyone who used to listen to this is younger than 28, they're gone.
They're gone. They have no desire. Yeah, no. They're not entertaining.
These guys have not talked about Fortnite in a fortnight.
They have a 1-bedroom apartment. They're not entertaining anybody. They barely have an oven that works. They're not interested in this.
Yeah, they're like
no interest.
I'll order my Chipotle.
Yeah,
because that's what Tim and Jack said to do. And
now
what? Like, tell me about video games, idiots.
Exactly. Anyway,
I can do a little video game update too. I guess
you have a couple topics you want to hit. Sorry, I got off track with the food.
No, not off topic, Paul. It's all about what we're excited about, and you are excited about food. Holy heck,
I'm jacked up about food.
So don't be surprised if I rev you up a lot with that stuff, because you know what, you need a channel, and what you do. Just start slowly transitioning people. But currently on this Tuesday, I launched my relaunch. We have a community Minecraft server going pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
But last year I didn't really participate very much. I probably had like 5 total hours played, and it was I had a group of about 10 people that played pretty steadily for months. Which was great.
Okay.
It was kind of just a vanilla, like not a lot of mods, just a couple things for like, so people don't blow your stuff up and anti-cheats and stuff.
Yes.
But now my friend Kevin, I don't know if you've met Kevin actually. Kevin is the guy I tell the story about. I grew up in 3 doors down from me. His dad built computers. And
yes.
So he's an adult now, and he also was just
grew up.
Cybersecurity. He had equity in a company, and they sold it. So now he's just kind of consulting and them be like, okay, because he helped build the product that they built, and but he's just got all this time. So, and he loves video games, still plays them all the time. He's got 3 kids, and they just play video games together all the time.
Awesome.
It's super cool. And he designed a mod pack for us. So there's some shaders that look really nice. It's really lightly modded, but there's some cool mechanics and stuff, and a whole bunch of aesthetic stuff. And I created a theme.
A theme for your server.
Yes. I've talked about
Oh gosh.
this for a long time. That I'm writing I want to write a book eventually, a fantasy story. I've been writing it a lot over the last few months, just like ideas, pages and pages and pages of stuff. It's not organized into a story yet, but like world building, just building the world. So what I did was I said, hey, this is the world. And we are going to, I'm going to give you a very loose idea of what the world, what I imagine it to be, and then just let you go ham. And so
cool.
that's what's happening. It's called Six Kingdoms. There's six different, like, I don't know, races. Or like,
sorry, you said 6 racists?
Races,
races.
They're not like really that different in my head, but for the sake of simplicity, just like think elves, orcs, dwarves, humans, gnomes. Like we kind of went general theme like that, even though in my head they're all human in the story.
Oh, okay.
But they're just they have characteristics that would be, but we're just thinking that in terms of generally, so that everyone knows those tropes in fantasy. So
yes,
we have we got Kevin, for example. He is the charge of building, so that everyone kind of split up and they started their capital cities for the kingdoms. Okay, super cool. So we're building our town halls, which are all going to be connected by like a rail system that turns into flight paths, and we get all these events coming up, and it's a blast. And everyone is invited to join. I got there finally. But you are invited to join. All you have to do is join my Discord channel, discord.gg/Trevor May. Somehow that URL still exists, even though I'm not technically partnered anymore. It still works. I don't know why.
Professional athlete.
But I did it. And you can go in, and there's a Minecraft like subheading, like a folder of channels, and there's how to join, and it tells you how to do it. You join up. Everyone's welcome. You can join a kingdom, which we there's 5, 6, 7. There's like 5 to 10 people in each one now.
Cool. Okay.
And you kind of build like, all right, now I'm building my things, towers and walls. I'm a fortress guy. I love it. It's my favorite thing in fantasy, I guess. So I'm like working on designing the walls, and everyone's kind of getting early game going. And but there's like 15 to 20 people on at all times, which is way more than last time. It's so much fun. And you don't have to do anything. I just ask that you respect like the kingdom kind of rules we set, and all this stuff's in the Discord. So if you're interested, please come join us, have fun. And everyone's so like, we got a couple people who are like, I don't know, they're world class players, like absolutely incredible. And they're
better than you are,
better than me in building, in terms of experience building and stuff. Though I built a lot of skill. I'm pretty good now, and I have a good idea of what I want to do. But any skill levels, anything. If you just know how to make a mud house, there's people here that will help you, that you can help. You can go hop in with. We got groups of friends. Like half the server's Australian somehow. I don't know what's going on, but there's people online all the time. If you play in the middle of the night in the Northwest or in the North America, there's people on. There's always people on. So come join us. If you've never played the game and want to get into it, it's great. It's a great opportunity, but we got all kinds of cool stuff coming up, and weekly objectives, and like there's gonna be a quest system. It's gonna be great.
This podcast brought to you by Six Kingdoms.
Six Kingdoms, the Six Kingdoms SMP.
SMP.
That's what it's called. And then actually, really quickly, second announcement: Marcel and I are relaunching The Purge, and I told you about this.
Yes.
Season 2 of The Purge, or Purge 2, or whatever you want to call it, will be coming in December, probably middle of the month. Marcel keeps saying first week, but there's no way. So he's just wrong.
He's very ambitious.
It's going to take longer than that to get ready. But we have this amazing server built. These guys built us custom dungeons that we're going to run out. Like we built a game in the game, Paul. And I know I invited you to this. This isn't just going to be like walking around like normal Minecraft. It's like pretty modded, and it's going to look like a different game. And you like go in and you choose a class and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be fun. And then for 2 hours every week, we all get together and we freaking kill each other. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You come up with traps and you build all this stuff. You come up with the system for how you're going to win the purge, and and everyone's a YouTuber and pretty funny. So remind
me again, like when it happens, can you just like be like, hey, Paul, it's happening tomorrow?
Yeah. It's happening in 2 days. I will. I'll be like, here's the launch, and I'll invite you to the Discord, and literally there will be a little bit of setup. That's the only thing, but it's going to be like, download this pack, you install it using this thing, and you're good. Like that's all it is. I'll get you whitelisted and tell you all this stuff. And if you come and play, man, like you can play the first day and never get back on if you don't want to. Like it's completely up to you, but it is a blast, and it's very like it's as close to no pixel as I feel like I've gotten in terms of and doing dumb stuff with other creators that are funny. So
very awesome.
I think you would enjoy it. And it's pretty chill. It's really chill. It's like TFT, and you don't have to do anything crazy. And there's no shooting. There's no aiming. It's all for fun.
Shooting.
So those are the big things. Those are the gaming things I have coming up.
I love that.
And that's pretty much it. I am not saying I'm not really committing to anything else. I just want to do those things and enjoy them and have fun with them.
That's good. Keep it more concise and work on your book, obviously, in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, the books, dude. The books. This is the weirdest thing ever. The book is like, I'm like, this thing never even needs to even turn into a book for anybody ever. Like, I could never do that and still like just write the story and have it for me. Enjoy it.
That'd be really cool.
And there's no deadline. Like, you just could take 4 years. It doesn't need to be like, it's not like a YouTube video where you have to get it out. You know, it's like, just go as you want. Like, do what you want. And I'm trying to do more of that stuff. That's been a very interesting, interesting last few months, to be honest. Of soul searching.
If you make a book, I will. That might be the first book I ever read.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hear that, guys? Paul doesn't read. Which actually is a great segue, man, because I got something to say about some entertainment things.
Let me hear it, dude. Let me hear what you have to say.
I got a hot take. Everyone who's listening, I'm about to go like 100% on something and not dance around it.
Let's do it.
Andor is the best Star Wars show ever.
He said it.
It is by far the best show I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe. It's not close. I love Mandalorian because of it's the good old fashioned linear story. Baby Yoda and Mando are just iconic characters, and it's like nostalgia, but it's still the very like scene cut, the swipe cut, the whatever.
Yeah,
this Andor is a different type of show.
It's true.
It's have you seen them all?
So I have not seen them all. Is the season over?
Yes, the finale was on Wednesday, bro.
Oh, dude. Okay, I gotta get really honest with you for a second here. First of all, no spoilers. We're not gonna spoil anything. So everyone's worried we're not gonna spoil anything. I just want. I'm in this really. I just want to break it down really quick for you. I'm in this really awkward position. Okay, because at the same time that I'm very happy that Tirza is into the things that I'm in, my wife. I love that. It's also at the same time infuriating, and here's why. Because I really want to watch these things, and she gets then excited about them and also wants to watch them. However, she doesn't have near the drive or fire to watch them that I do. And so I'm like, hey, can we watch this tonight? And she's like, my knee kind of hurts. And like, I don't know what that means. Like, can we
lay on the couch?
We watch the show. She's like, I wanna go to the bathroom. I don't know. Like, can we watch the show? And she doesn't want to watch it ever. And so we're so behind. I'm on like the 6th episode.
Bro.
And I want to get caught up so bad because I'm just avoiding spoilers like the plague. Just everywhere. And New Rockstars is always like, shout out to New Rockstars. Like, I love that YouTube channel. That's probably my favorite YouTube channel of all time. They have like just like a giant picture of like a new character, like big arrow circle. Like, look at this. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. And I just scroll past it.
YouTubers. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you are right. I have loved Andor. Also, kind of tough because she's kind of mad about it. She's like, I don't know, I can't get connected to the characters. I'm like, are you paying attention?
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Are you not paying attention?
Dude, the writing is so good. Like, I'm like, dude, this
top tier.
Freaking, what is
it's unbelievable.
I'm not going to spoil. This is not a spoiler. And my favorite part of the finale was not what everyone else probably will say. It's just there's a lot of monologues in the show, right?
Sure,
just
yes.
In general, there's a monologue.
There's a good amount of monologues, actually, yeah.
There's a monologue, just like a speech, kind of, or like
well thought out, not just droll. Like, it's
very good dialogue. There's a scene in what I watched that I was like, that was one of the best scenes I loved it. I've ever seen. That type of scene. That's all. I guess
I'm looking forward to get there.
But it's just so good. It's so good. It's just so good. And honestly, the story of how the rebellion started is just a great.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's it, by the way, that's not a spoiler if you read the freaking description of the show. That's
literally what it's about.
It's very clear
at all. Yeah.
But if you start paying attention to all the little nuance of like sets and costumes and stuff, you start to notice all this stuff, and you're like, oh my god, this is so well thought out. I can't even. It's not quite Dune level, but it's
so good.
It's so good.
And I am intoxicated by Stellan Skarsgård's performance on that show. When the moment he arrives from the first couple episodes that he's there, it is so good. He's so eyes, right? Good. What's that?
Blue eyes, right?
Old blue eyes. Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård.
So it's his monologue.
Oh my gosh.
He does he's great. And he's ever since we saw him in the original Thor, and he's been so good to, dude. And Fishburne's in it because he's still playing have you seen Fishburne yet?
No. Oh no, he's in a trailer. You might have just
seen him.
Yeah, he's in a trailer.
Yeah, I
did not see him yet, but I know he's in a trailer.
Skarsgård and him have a conversation.
Oh, I can't wait.
They're just both so good, like such good actors. Yeah,
gosh.
The acting's really great. Just the writing's great, and there's another. I can't wait for you to meet other people.
Other people.
Watch it.
I'm very excited to meet other people.
Just watch it.
It's refreshing because there hasn't been a show like that for me in a pretty long time, like a really, really quality show. I will say that I do really enjoy actually House of Dragons. I thought that was really good. I appreciated it. I enjoyed it. I did like that actually. So that was a good one. Okay. But like nothing has captured me like, for instance, Chernobyl. That just like I was just sucked into the world. Like the amount of tension building and everything with that. Because the best part, you freaking know there's some good ass writing when you know how something is going to end, but you're still nervous about it happening anyway. Like you know how it's going to end up, but you're just like, oh my gosh, how are they going to get there? So good.
We've been told by PM that Stellan is also in Chernobyl.
Yes, he is. He is in Chernobyl. Yes.
Oh, and he's
also outstanding.
Yeah, he was one of the main characters too. So
yeah, he was like the main guy, right? The guy who was overseeing the cleanup.
Yeah, he was overseeing cleanup.
Yeah, dude. That show. And by the way, I saw a deep dive breakdown. I got into like the cinema. Remember, I told you I was researching cinematography, and then they used Chernobyl as an example of color paletting and how they used yellow and blue and green, like blue
green,
is safe, green is bad. Green meant
blue is safe, green is bad.
Blue meant safe. So like they would color. Like there's a bed of a truck moving diseased animals, and the bed was green, but the cab was blue.
No freaking way.
Yeah, they did tons of stuff like that. So lighting in the rooms.
So I love that stuff. That's awesome.
You know, when they're down there trying to turn the reactor or like manually move the rods, it's all green.
Oh man.
Every alarm
cool.
Every alarm is green. Like I'm like, dude, I just didn't realize. Well, they did the same thing in a Contagion. Yellow.
Great movie.
Yellow light means virus. And like blue meant safe but sterile.
Oh wow! I didn't know that either.
And they did that on purpose. Like a master of that, or a guy who's big on that is not Quentin Tarantino. Well, he is a little bit, but Shyamalan. He uses blatantly obvious colors, like in Sixth Sense with red. Whenever you went, when anything was red, then the people were dead around that.
Oh snap!
Well, that's
wild.
The twist at the end, right? And he tried the same thing in the village, and it fell flat because it was kind of a stupid premise. But he tried the same thing. Like that's his thing. That's how he does twists. So I didn't know about any of that stuff, but that's why you feel that way, because they like feed you a color in the tension in the beginning, and then you assume that color means that thing for the rest of the movie. We've done right.
That's so freaking cool, man. I probably picked up on it, but didn't even realize it. I like felt the tension when that color was more prominent on the screen.
Blade Runner, same thing, orange.
They do that. They do that a lot to depict a lot of like the Middle Eastern countries too, and a lot of the filmmakers got called out for it actually, because anytime that they wanted to show like Iraq or Iran, they would make it very, very orange and dark orange and
deserty.
You know, this like deserty feeling. But then if you
wastelandy.
look at a real photo of Iran, it's like perfectly normal. Like there's no hints of orange. And so they were like, why are we doing this? Why are we overcorrecting with a bunch of orange to make it seem like we're in the Middle East?
Yeah.
Because they wanted to create the tension of being there, and people who are there, like, we don't want this to be associated with tension all the time, even if that is the nature of your movie.
Yes.
Because it's a group of people that it's their home. Like, they don't want their home to be seen as this tense, scary place all the time. And we just kept releasing movies that said that. And that I can see why that would be not very fun. So I actually had a question that I was going to ask that's on the list here, and that this is a great segue to too, Paul. I recently saw a video where someone was saying they gave their top 3 first seasons of a television show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be interesting to give each one of our top 3, just one of them. You don't have to go all 3. And I would say Andor is up now in my top 3. But I will say one that I loved and I've seen 3 times, and there hasn't even been a season 2 yet. Is I think for me, Arcane is one of the first seasons of a show that was just absolutely captivated me, and I wanted to watch again after I watched it once. And it's animated, but it's one of the best standalone video game shows ever. Like, there's no way.
I agree. That is one of the best shows as well that I've seen, especially an animated show that really drew me in. That's tough though. I the first 3 seasons you're saying?
No, just like the first season of a show. Like what was, because historically first seasons of shows, especially if they're slow burns, like the slowest is the first season. So it's hard to figure out. Game of Thrones was a great first season.
I was going to say, I think Game of Thrones is probably one of the best TV shows ever made. And that's still including the later seasons, to be honest with you. The first 3 to 5 seasons of Game of Thrones is the best television you could possibly watch. There really isn't. I can't think of anything that's really better than that. Not that I've watched a lot of television. I feel like I've watched a good amount. Game of Thrones. I would say Andor so far, even though I haven't even finished it yet, which is freaking crazy. I just love it. It's so good. Chernobyl doesn't really count because it's a miniseries.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones and Arcane are probably my 2. I can't think of a third.
I got one.
What do you got?
First season of True Detective.
Oh, True Detective. I've not watched that, actually.
What?
I've not watched True Detective, no.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Yeah. That is both of their best performances.
No way. Really?
In all of in all of film ever.
Their characters were incredible. They did a great job. Yes. Oh my God.
Detective.
Watch it, dude. Binge the shit out of that, and guess what? I don't think Tears would want to watch it, so you're good.
Oh, thank God.
It's they're like solving a murder in Louisiana. It's fucking crazy.
What's that on? What's HBO?
HBO.
Oh,
I got 3 for you, but I also want to ask: has there been a greater decline from season 1 to season 2, like True Detective?
No.
Oh, I don't.
And 2 was really bad, and then 3 was good. I like 3. 3 was good.
2 was bad. What happened to 2?
It's Vince Vaughn. Like Vince Vaughn's the heavy, and what basically the what's going on is like, what? Okay.
Yeah, and 3 had Mahershala Ali, who I just always like as an actor, and so
he's great.
Oh, Mahershala is fantastic.
Yeah, he was going to do well for me.
I would say the acting in 3 was what carried it, because even the story wasn't as deep as it could be.
What show they canceled recently that I thought was really good? I just had it in my head, and they canceled it for some reason.
While you're thinking of that, I can drop by 3.
Okay, drop them.
Number 1 is Loki.
Oh, okay.
I thought the first season of Loki was probably the best thing Marvel has done since Endgame.
Yes.
Because
I'd agree with that, actually.
It's not traditional Marvel superhero beginning to end. I saw the Black Panther yesterday. I'm not going to say anything about it, but I love Marvel. I love all the shows they do. I just think Loki was very refreshing, and I'm super excited about the next phase. So I would say that's great.
Yep.
The second would be The White Lotus, if you guys have seen that.
I have seen it.
Dude, that won so many awards. And I thought to myself, I need to watch this.
It is incredible from start to finish. We just started the second season.
What's her name? Coolidge. Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
She's in it. She's amazing. But the guy who runs the hotel is...
The guy who runs the hotel is one of the best actors I've ever seen, and he fits that so well. So that was... Yeah, that was great. The third one for me is more nostalgia, but I would say Pokemon. I know that doesn't really resonate well, but... Huh? Yeah, but the original season of Pokemon, and actually today's the first. Technically, Ash Ketchum became a world champion today. By the way, guys, I don't know if you saw.
He did it.
Pokemon tweeted that out, but today was the day. Yes, so 20 years in the making. Yeah, I would say that one just because when you think of everything related to Pokemon, it ties back to that first season.
That's funny. If we're doing a nostalgia pick, then I'll be honest with you, the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I was heavy into Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially the first season. That's just me though.
I would throw out I think the first season of Stranger Things was extremely unique and nostalgic, and they crushed it. Duffer Brothers came in.
They did crush that. Yes.
Now,
yes. Go ahead.
Does it matter if you watched it later? So like you mentioned Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, but I didn't watch the show until like 4 or 5 seasons in, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter when you watched it? Like, since I watched all 3 of those shows as they came out in the first season, and so you were kind of hooked on it from the beginning, as opposed to like, I think Breaking Bad's a great show, but I can't say the first season of Breaking Bad was one of my favorites because I just binged the entire thing all the way through.
I would say, it was a slower burn too. The same with Better Call Saul. Like, Better Call Saul is a phenomenal show, but the first season wasn't the strongest season. Like, it's just a different type of story too. Like, you had to that's why I'm kind of holding out on the Lord of the Rings series, because it felt slow, but at the same time, they set so many things up. Right. So there's a chance that it could be much more meat for me later.
That's if they don't cancel it, because Amazon said they put their entire Prime Video online for that show, and if it fails, they'll probably drop it.
Didn't they just start?
Well, they should have thought about maybe not having such a slow first goddamn season. Like, I don't know. Yeah. You had control. You knew. I mean, you kind of got to know how these things work.
We could be here all podcast if I talked about how trash that show is. That show is so disappointing.
Do you think it has something to do with House of Dragon though? Like, they dropped them at the same time. Like, I feel like that doesn't make any sense to me.
So there is a couple actors. So Paul, let's we got a little bit of time. Let's start pulling some pieces apart. Here's for me. There's a couple actors that I absolutely loved, that I thought were great. Yeah. I liked Elendil. I liked Durin.
I liked Elendil as well.
Durin was. And the longer the show went on, the longer the season went, the more I saw Gimli. And I was like, yes.
Yep.
He's becoming our little buddy dwarf, and his little side looks and his little quips and stuff were growing on me. I loved him. And then on the flip side, the 2 main characters, Galadriel and Halbrand, are terrible. And that makes me so sad.
Bad.
And then they had this weird romance that made no sense in the middle, where you're just like, dude, you don't need this. This doesn't need to exist yet. We can save this for later.
I mean, I could hit, bullet point. Sure. We can start from the top there. Things I liked. I liked Durin. I thought he was an interesting character. I thought he was a complex character. His relationship with his dad was interesting and compelling. I liked that a lot. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked, I did kind of like Elrond. I liked Elrond. You know what I mean? He grew on me. He's
got that like diplomatic politician thing going. And he's that actor is very good at that. I thought he was
yes. And he also has this kind of interesting past, right? Where he's like a half elf. He didn't really, he's like, why is he not with his brother? There's like kind of some mystery there, but it's
got a story too. Yeah.
He looks tortured a little bit.
We haven't really gotten into it.
Exactly.
With him yet either, which I'm hopeful for. Maybe his goes a little bit more. They should lean harder into him, but I'm sure they've already shot the second season for some of it or written it.
Exactly. And then okay, and I liked his relationship, Elrond and Durin's relationship. I will say I did like it, but that leads me into the list of things I hate, which I could go on for a while, but one of them is just unnecessarily pulling nostalgia for bad. It's like bad writing. They did the whole here's an elf and a dwarf not quite getting along trope from Lord of the Rings. It's like, look, man, I get it. I've seen that. They did it well. Thank God the characters and writing was good enough to hold those characters up to make that work. But then they forced down the whole, like, a hobbit goes on an adventure with a wizard. Got it. Okay, cool. Yep, I understand that's there too. That's great. Then they had the elf somehow for some reason fall in love with a human who
that's the worst one.
Who after an explosion still has freaking eyeliner on. Like, I don't understand. People are burning alive.
And she's just wearing blue. She kept her freaking maid's dress the whole time.
They don't explain anything.
Galadriel, take your damn armor off ever.
Oh my gosh.
Why are you always wearing the most uncomfortable armor all the time?
Bro, Galadriel, spoilers ahead. Galadriel takes Halbrand freaking across, literally like across Middle Earth in 6 days without stopping, and he has a mortal injury. And when they get there, no one's like, how did this human survive 6 days of travel with a freaking hole in his stomach? And then he's just fine the next day? No
red flags.
Like, this guy might be Sauron. I don't know. That's a little bit suspect. I'm not sure how you survived that. That's insane. I like what I can't think of it. Numenorians. They go from freaking Numenor in the damn middle of the ocean to Middle Earth
on nothing.
And then they talk about their long journey when they dock over the mountains to get to the Southlands. And somehow they teleport over those mountains at full steed boar. They're just freaking galloping.
Dude, they get off the fucking boat and they're like, you know what? We're gonna charge. Charge what? You have no idea what's going on. You don't know where anybody is. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who's there. You have no confidence. And you're just charging nothing.
Like, they don't even know orcs exist, and suddenly there's orcs. They're like, oh, I guess.
It's orcs. Like,
no, we're just in time to save this village,
bro.
And then, oh my,
dude, when they're down fighting, this is my favorite thing. They're like, hey, Isildur, who is the son of Elendil? He's on the boat, and they're like, why are you coming? He's like, I'm a stable sweep. She's like, okay, and then suddenly he's just in full armor on a fucking horse. You're like, you're a stable sweep, bro. Now you're suddenly in the... And not only that, he's standing up there with the queen and her, like, guard and him, like Elendil. Isildur, who means nothing to anybody. And she's like, go save your father. And you're like, what the... Why is he up here with you right now? Why is he not already down there? How you can't see him either. You have no idea what's going on.
Send in the stable sweeps. Go save the soldiers.
It's like her two generals, and the stable sweep.
Oh my gosh. And then she gets freaking blinded and she's like, don't let the other ones know. Then take off the headband. It's around your eyes. Everyone can see it.
Let's make her blind, but like there's no scars.
Oh.
So now she's like, now I'm blind. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Like, what? And she's still like looking at them when they speak. Like, stop. This was not necessary.
Oh my god!
Okay, so I was encouraged by Jordan Peele in a podcast.
Were you?
No, he basically says, hey, just watch movies. If you want to make stuff and like figure out what you like, just sit there and like actually take notes on it sometimes, like just analytically, so you can distill down the things that you like if you want to make it. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I love Lord of the Rings, so I'm going to do it. And there was the whole thing when they're like, the tavern is the keep, and we're going to defend our town because we left the big fortress that we could have held. Because that's smart.
Let's leave our high ground fortress for the low ground wooden tavern.
And then they're like fall back, and then everyone gets shot by arrows that go in, and then there's just like 5 minutes where nobody attacks. All right, so but in the middle of that, there's this little scene, right, where where one of the people who works in the tavern opens up the window, and then like a figure runs by. I'm like, they just had a bet. You don't have to be like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Because we know they're outside. Like, we know they're outside. Why did we put this in here? We already know they're outside. They just shot you. Like, they're everywhere. And then what happens? They just walk in the door. Like, nobody's guarding the door.
No. no.
Like, oh no, they let us have this moment, and now they're here. Like, there's no one like put a furniture in front of the door. Bro. They don't do anything. They just stand there like, oh shit, we forgot about everyone outside.
Oh my god. And
while Bronwyn got shot. Fuck.
Is her name is Bronwyn, right? Bronwyn. Dude. Yeah. And then Bronwyn gets shot, and they're like, okay, the writers are like, all right, so she gets shot. So what? Oh, so she's bleeding, right? Obviously, no, she's bleeding. Of course, she's got a wound. So what do? Some guy in there is like, well, I think we take some hot metal and we cauterize the wound. And then the whole group of media were like, oh, that's never been shown before on television. It's like they make the big deal out about them cauterizing. That's the first thing I know to do. If something's bleeding and I have a cut, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm like, get some hot metal. Let's cauterize this bitch. Like, obviously, it's what they made this. And then what is she supposed to die from cauterization? She like passes like,
and then she wakes up. And then the half-elf Eddar comes in. He's like, hey, guys, remember me? And they're like, oh, my God.
Where did you come from?
He just walks in. And just stabs a guy. Like, like they'll look. They're like, and then the elf guy, whatever the fuck his name is. What's his name? Adeline or something.
Something
Arendir. And he just like, I'm gonna defend us again because no one can fight. Dude, the whole fight where there's like one giant orc that comes out of nowhere. He's like, it's me and you 1-on-1. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh my god,
this doesn't need to happen at all. He's not Legolas.
It's
fighting a troll. This is not the same thing.
Exactly. And I mean, don't even get me. I can't even go down the path right now. I feel like
it's pretty good
of the of the unnecessary. Okay, in my mind, I say this as a black. Why are there just random, unexplained, like ethnic minorities among these groups with no explanation whatsoever?
Paul, thank you so much.
I was watching Elrond do the whole hammer frickin' rock breaking test against what's his name there? Starts with an R. Can't remember. Anyway, can't think of any of their names. Durant. It doesn't start with an R at all. And they're doing the back and forth, and they're showing all the dwarves, and there's randomly like an Asian dwarf in there, and then like a black dwarf, and I'm like, do they come from somewhere?
No, exactly.
Is there no story behind this?
So that you want that, correct?
Of course I want. That's good. Ridiculous. Why would you just imagine you just a dwarf and you just have a baby and it's Asian and you're a redhead? You're like, what the hell happened here?
I'm over here and I'm like, I love the melting pot that they're putting in movies, and yes. I really love that there's an effort to do this and represent lots and lots of people. But it's also an opportunity to add more depth to because the reason that America, for example, is a melting pot because everyone came from other places at some point.
Exactly.
None of us were freaking native to here. So you could literally build a little bit of just allude to a couple things, like some lands that we didn't know about, that where the people look, like you, and that you met through a diplomatic meeting or something, like anything, just like allusion to it. And then it's over. We're like, oh,
explain it somehow.
Now they
came from a different area. Yeah. Why is their skin randomly black?
Why is the pigment different? Is you could come up with a cool reason.
Don't get me wrong. As a black person, I love representation. I first of all, I think Arendir was actually relatively kind of cool. I thought he was he's like a cool elf. Whatever.
He was a good elf.
They don't explain.
He's very stoic.
Yeah, they don't explain why that man is black. Why is he black?
Not only that,
does he come from somewhere? He's the only
black one. Black elf. He's the only one.
I didn't see any other black elves. Does he have a story? Does he come from somewhere, or he just pop out of a white elf mother, and then she was like, cool, he's darker for no reason whatsoever. I like the representation, but when you do it without explaining anything and just shoehorn token minorities into things, it just is like, why are we doing this? It makes it obvious, and it completely annihilates your point. I hate it so much.
But it's also
House of the Dragon had that problem too. I think there was a lot of people who kind of, I don't want to say it was a problem. They were wondering where it came from.
Oh they did it better.
I loved them.
Are they? What was the other?
It's not Targaryen.
Valerians.
Valerians.
Yeah,
just straight up Valerians.
Yeah. Oh no, not Valerian. I'm sorry. No, Valeria, where they came from. No, I think
they're just
Valerian.
People from Valeria are Valerians. I think it was something close. It's like Valerian. There's one letter that's different, but it's very close. Yeah, let's say Valerians. The whole blonde dreadlock, dude. I was like, this is freaking awesome. And if they just addressed it,
yes,
just a little bit.
Yes,
it is Valerian. Yeah,
Valerians. Yeah, not Valerian.
Corlys was the main guy.
Wow, nice George R.R. Martin. Really,
dude,
stretched on that one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But the thing is, they at least explain that, hey, this group of black people came from this area. They live on this island, whatever, and they live in the sea. And cool, that's where they come from. They're all that color. When they have babies,
they're
with
also
very white mates, they come out kind of brown.
Yeah,
who would have thought?
They did do that. They casted really.
They have
well.
mixed kids. Yeah,
and
crazy.
At least they all came from an area. You can make assumptions. You can be like, oh, this family is from this area in Valeria.
Yeah,
originally. So you can be like, oh, well, then maybe that has something to do why they look different. They don't say it explicitly, but at least we can draw that conclusion, and that's enough.
And they literally put it in the freaking show when Rhaenyra has her baby. And then Allison goes up to, I can't remember his name, but her husband, Rhaenyra's husband, is like, maybe one day you'll have a baby that looks like you. Yeah, because when you have a kid, it tends to look like you. Shares
that's
features.
it's pretty on the nose there, Rhaenyra.
Literally it. Yeah,
I don't know what you think.
Isn't black. That's weird. How did you do that? It's almost like they need to look like it.
Yeah, they did in the Lord of the Rings. But dude, the thing is though, the same way that Andor's premise is the start of the rebellion, I'm still interested in Mordor and how it became what it did.
Yes. Like, I'm interested in that as well. Yes.
The umbrella I guess plot kept hooking me in. I'm like, oh well, that thing's a key, and there's some they went with some imagery that was kind of not very well thought out, but the whole nod back to like there is a symbol that keeps showing up that is similar looking to the eye. Like that was enough of a nod. So I was like, I like that little element. I like the fact that Mordor wasn't always the way it is. I didn't know that. No, we get to see how it happens. I also like the wizard he's very early. One of the guys that the Gandalf was. He's one of the early versions of that. And I can't remember where he was and why he's back now. Why he was sent back, because he was sent back the same way that Gandalf came back after fighting the Balrog. Yeah, it's exactly. The same thing. They're trying to do that same thing, and we don't know why. Like there's something the gods or whatever sent him for a reason, and that's a mystery, and that can be developed well if they do it. But I'm like, that was good too. So I liked him. I understand, and I actually do like the girl Nori. I think she was. Yeah, I like that they have that, because then it's all like, oh god, doom and gloom all the time. I know it's a hobbit with a wizard going on a journey, but and that's just fully recycled. But I do like her as a character, and I like his mystery and like how he doesn't really know what he can do. Like there's room to grow that. But god damn it, Halbrand, I could pick someone else, man. I just why do you have this cold sore on your lip for the entire time? Also, you're a Numenor. Why is everyone else bathed but you? Why does your hair look like that? Why are you so dirty still? Like what are you?
The dirt is his evil.
Comb your hair.
It's always on him.
Look at Elendil and look at him. Like, dude, we both have the water basin. Just use it.
That show is just so poorly executed. It's unbelievable. It's tough. Yeah, I think you're right. It's the curiosity of knowing how that all started is interesting. I feel like they're taking some liberties that are not related to the books, which are frustrating. But then also like even something as simple as the Southlands. Spoiler alert, I guess, again, being Mordor, is that like they do it like it's a big reveal. Like, we know that. Bro, we knew 3 episodes ago this was Mordor. It's where the orcs are. We know that. And then they do like this big like thing called the Southlands, like text. And then they wipe the Southlands text away. And then in comes Mordor. Like, bitch, we know that. Why did you put that in there?
It's like the figure running by the window. We know they're out there. There's no one sneaking around the building right now. They're going to walk in the fucking front door in 5 seconds. And then they did. Like, it's a necessary build. It's like, it's almost as if like, do you know that's fluff? Why are you adding that? Just because you have the money? Like, stop. Just make it like, you can get more out of a person sitting quietly in a dark, scary room than trying to manufacture this stuff.
Exactly.
Like, it's just people's expressions on their faces which drive the tension. Like, that's cheap. You just have to have actors that get it.
Speaking of expression, the worst scene in the entire show for me personally is literally the big speech that what's-his-nuts, Mr. I have all the guild crests in Numenor, gave to a random courtyard full of other Numenorians.
When someone's riling him up, he's like, you know what, I'm here.
Like a very MAGA speech about like whatever. And then like basically... And then you look, which is whatever. Like, that's fine. That's I guess a plot point. That's fine. It's dude, do not look at any of the extras. It will pull you out of it so freaking fast. Those extras are awful. I swear, one looked directly at the camera. Another one doing like a really slow, like fist pump to like, you're not into it. You're dialing this in. This is awful. If you look at any of the extras, it is so bad. And somehow in all of Numenor, there was like 15 people. You couldn't get more people at this big speech this guy's given. Anyway,
yeah, no, I hear that.
That was the worst scene in my opinion. I hated it.
But
great show.
I'm a sucker for imagery though. Every time they panned over, I mean, I get it, CGI and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? That's why I play Minecraft right there.
Numenor,
epic vistas, just like Numenor and Linden.
It's beautiful.
The way they show all the towns and cities, and It's still freaking New Zealand, right?
Yes.
Like still beautiful, and there's still the mountains are still look awesome, and but yeah, they're just not. It's very Hobbit. They went the Hobbit direction again, and I don't know why they don't understand that the Hobbit fell pretty flat generally.
So bad. Yes.
You just don't need to make up. You don't need to make up new villains and stuff. Like have little small characters that are conflict, and then just character development and how they're dealing with their situations.
That's how you make compelling anything. Movies, television, books, anything. Characters. Build characters out. Give them arcs. I feel like I don't even make any of that stuff. And I know as a consumer, if a character doesn't have a satisfying arc, I don't care. Why would I want to watch someone live this like half-baked life? Like I want to see development, good or bad. It has to make sense from beginning to end.
If we just got if you're gonna go with the Galadriel shaky eye every single time she's receiving bad news, I just don't know what to tell you. I can't.
She's like literally having a seizure every time.
And she's doing her best. I know. I'm not mad at her at all. I just don't think she's really given she's not really given that many opportunities to be like her dialogue is so the same thing over and over again. Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
It's rare. I feel like that actors actors are bad. I think it's more often that they're not written or directed well is probably more common than anything.
I bet you. Yeah, I agree with that. Anyway, that's that show. But I mean, I'm gonna watch I'm gonna see if there's a second one. I'm gonna give it a shot again because I mean, look at me. I got a freaking shot
I'll watch
over my shoulder.
Yeah, no,
I love it. But
do you
those 20 minutes?
Do you guys mind if I interject with the show that I can?
You got one more show.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Hopefully you guys have seen it. If not, I'm gonna say you guys need to watch it immediately. Severance.
Yeah,
Severance. Great. Yeah, heard a lot of good things about Severance.
Yes.
Might be one of the more unique shows I've ever seen.
Might be like that was one of those that I came into. My wife was like, "Oh, we should watch this," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, you know, that actor, I know him from what was it, Step Brothers, right?
Adam Scott.
The main guy. And I always have an issue with people who come from comedy to kind of the thriller action side of things. Like I always struggle to like, you know, separate the two. But dude, that show is incredible. And that first season, the way it ended, you were mad that it ended. And you were I need the next season, like right now. And just like a little quick note to it, in the Apple tech thing they did, they actually dropped Easter eggs for the second season of Severance throughout the showing. So like when they released the products of like the new AirPods and the new computers, they were dropping little hints of like the Severance season.
Oh, I did hear that they were doing that. That's actually really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I would say Severance, one of the best first seasons I can remember in a long time.
And it's got the guy from the Transformers movies too. What's his name?
Transformers.
So funny. He was the original government agent.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
What's his name?
Yeah, I can see his face, but I don't know his name.
Christopher Walken's in it. Like it's good, man.
It's good.
It's really interesting because they're like. They're like interested in stuff that because I don't know if you know the premise of the show, but they they just severed their consciousness from work and home, so like they're just different. They don't remember things from either thing. It's like you have a procedure done.
Oh, okay.
It's very Black Mirror.
Very
honestly.
Black Mirror.
Yeah, if you like Black Mirror, you will.
But
love
they're like feeling things and stuff that they don't know about themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like and they're like, what the frick is happening to me, because that's who they are outside of the thing, but they don't know that person. They're two different people.
Oh,
and it's an interesting it's an interesting them figuring that out and realizing that like, why does one version of themselves have control of the other one, like gets to make the decisions. It's very 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 good. It's very very
it's
good.
Very
good.
I would highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV Plus, I believe, so not the standard Apple TV. And I think it won a lot of the awards too. If I'm not mistaken, I think Severance did really well with the awards.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you get to meet the if you guys pay for an advertised tweet and Twitter Blue together, you can meet Adam Scott. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Wow.
That's and you get 2 verification marks. There you go.
And Elon made that for you guys. We should all worship him. Should worship him because of SpaceX.
Isn't that incredible that we spent this whole time we were talking about a lot of food and movies, and we didn't touch on the fact that Elon Musk is driving Twitter into the ground.
And you know what? Twitter can go into the ground, guys, and it's going to hurt a lot of our. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of people who do a lot of business on Twitter and stuff, and that's going to hurt them. They're going to have to adjust. But I think that for the most part, most people will be able to adjust and have an opportunity if the thing that the ecosystem has already changed so much that it's just not going to be the way it was anymore. Like you're just not going to get. People aren't going to advertise as much. People aren't going to pay for Twitter though either. So that opportunity for that, the stuff that you think you're going to be missing out on, they're not going to do it anymore anyway. So it doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like no one's getting ahead of you because you did it, right? Everyone's going to be affected by it.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, just the thing that I said this to you right the other day, Paul, right on stream, that the most concerning thing is this is the thing we need to pay attention. Is you need to ask yourself, Elon decided to buy Twitter for his ego. Like this, it's not like, I need to fix this because it's for the better. No, it was, look how much smarter and powerful I am. Yeah. I have better ideas. You guys should do this. And then, so I'm going to say, I'm going to buy it. And then they're like, oh, really? Yeah, you are. And he's like, no, I'm not. And like, no, you are. This is legally binding. Gotcha. Yeah, we're hemorrhaging $200 million a year. And then he got.
He paid 400% over.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks for him, and shouldn't suck for anybody else. But now it sucks for everybody. Yeah. So what he did was he did this weird I got bullied in high school and I got to show everybody thing, and look how rich and smart I am. Oh wait, I'm actually not as rich and smart, and I don't know everything about everything anymore. But I have a solution, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to convince you that this is a good thing, and I'm also going to convince you that you're going to have more status by paying me money. When in reality, you don't. Sorry. It's just that's not how it works anymore. So, but I know you're going to figure that out eventually, and I'm going to get as much money as I can now so that I can recoup before I sell this to someone in Russia or something. Which is what he's going to eventually sell it for parts, probably to somebody who shouldn't have it. And we should all be very thankful that he decided that he isn't rich enough to buy Coca-Cola and decide that we don't get food anymore, because no person should be able to do something that he just did. No one person. It should not be possible, and it is, and that should be a wake-up call. Exactly. And if we're defending you just need to know, he doesn't care about you. It's not for you. He's not giving you the power back. He's not giving you more status. He made a mistake, and he's trying to recoup his own mistake, because the only thing he cares about is inserting himself into things with his money and his power. That's where we're at now. He became that. He used to be this guy who's like, we're going to Mars 10 years ago. He's not that person anymore. Now he thinks that he can help solve Kanye West's problems and stuff. He just inserts himself everywhere because he started some companies and has a lot of money. Then therefore he is an expert on everything, and he isn't. And one of the big things you should never listen to him about is naming your children. The guy named his child after an airplane, guys. Like, come on.
Classic.
A human being that's going to live their own independent life of him is named after an airplane. Who does that? Like,
what's the name? What is it?
I don't even. It's like A220 or something.
It's something ridiculous.
The name's 3 different things. Grimes is a very unique person too. So they named this child something insane, and it's just and it's just not. You can name them whatever you want, but like they have to live with it, and you got to think about that. That wasn't thought about very clearly, and it's just sad. I'm sad.
You mentioned that people are going to be affected if Twitter shuts down, right?
Yeah.
Like that's going to affect people. It actually has already affected a corporation called Eli Lilly, which is a pharmaceutical company, because an imposter paid for Twitter Blue and tweeted, "We are going to announce free insulin," and it tanked their stock price by 20%, making them have to lay off and fire people because of it. Like literally, they are in the red now because someone paid for Twitter Blue, put out a fake tweet with a similar name with the verification tag that said, "We're going to do free insulin," which basically makes their business nothing. And so people believed it, and it crashed their stock.
It crashed their stock. Yep. But if they had made the name Elon Musk, it would have been caught within 10 seconds, because that's all that guy's doing is checking his subtweets. Like, guys, think about the people who do that you know. Are they secure? He's not a very secure person. Yes, he is he's very talented in a lot of ways. He knows a lot about a lot of stuff.
Sure.
But he doesn't know everything about everything.
No.
And you need to be better at determining whether or not people have authority on a subject, because if it's anything remotely close to feeling something or being present. He has no clue. So just know that he's not going to solve all of your issues because he's rich. Having lots of money does not give you, like, too many people make, he's a billionaire, so therefore I should listen to everything he says. No, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, you should not. And he just did something on a whim that no human being should ever be able to do. Ever.
Yeah.
Because now we are subject to this person's neuroses, the things he just decides one day. Think about that. That should be wildly alarming. Even if you're a fan of him, he still shouldn't have been able to do the thing that he did that easily.
Yeah.
And by the way, old Jack Dorsey.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I don't even know what happened. Yeah.
No, he's like, yeah, take it. Ha! I'm out. God.
Well, he didn't own a majority stock. I thought he had like 2%.
I mean, he packed out a lot, but like he's just like, yeah, man, you got this. Like he was doing that publicly. Like, shut up, man. You know what you did. You know how he is. You know who he is, and you guys know what he's gonna do. And you're just trying to get out yourself. It's just
I didn't realize that it affected another company like that. Though PM, that's actually really interesting. I knew it affected like people thought, what's his name, getting traded. LeBron James getting traded.
James, yeah.
Like one other thing.
A lot of sports stuff became kind of the norm.
Dude.
Yeah, someone took that and it got too serious. So he actually shut it down today. Yeah. So you can no longer pay for the verification. But he actually just tweeted 50 minutes ago, the awesome irony of the situation is that the media writing about Twitter/me failing nonstop as it's driving massive growth in Twitter.
Gotcha.
To me, that
look how cool I am. I was right.
Yeah, it screams very Trumpy, and I'm not trying to get political, but it screams like all bad news is good news in my eyes because you're talking about me living rent free in your head. It's like, bro, read the room.
It's not. That's not Trump. Is like, can we just not like? It's not Trumpism. People do this. Like it's a strategy. It's a circle jerk argument. Like if I say something's gonna happen and then I say something wildly controversial and everyone reacts the way I said, now I'm right. That's all he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing. That's what Donald Trump does. He's good at that, and he's good at finding people that feel they have grievances and they feel like they are being not heard by the people that he is representing, and he gives them little winks, little nods. Hey, I hear you. Even no matter how far-fetched the stuff is, he never directly says it, but he says a little because he can get them on his side because they're under. And I understand those people wanting that as well. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
but if you see like, he doesn't actually care, he just wants me to support him. Like those are different things, and that's the world. Like he just says things like bots, people, or the elites are taking away I'm leveling the playing field on what? You're on a place where people get news. Everyone giving news isn't good, man.
Yeah, man.
People who know about the news should give the news.
The elites, which is just a dog whistle.
That's where we live.
All it is. Yeah.
You make decisions like this all the time. You make decisions every day whether or not you should listen to something, and you don't even realize you're doing it. Like I gave the stop sign. When you stop at a stop sign, you're like you are almost you're signing a contract. Like the person that put the stop sign here and designed it knows what they're doing, so therefore I am going to stop.
Yep. Yeah.
Stoplights, all this stuff.
Social contracts.
Social contracts. We live them. That's how and then Twitter just did that same thing in order to make that function on their site. Removing that creates anarchy, which is what we're going to see more and more and more. And he's going to tweet stuff like, guys, just so you know, there's going to be a bunch of dumb stuff. It's the equivalent of a baseball player, like me going in and be like, oh, my arm's sore, guys. I hope today goes good. Like you're giving a pre-excuse that you can point to later when things are very clearly not going to go right.
Yeah. No, the stop sign thing. That's perfect because basically you gave the people the ability to put very official looking stop signs anywhere they want on any road.
And then you say, oh, well, you just got to scan the QR code and it'll tell you whether or not it's real.
Oh, we're not at an intersection, so obviously it's not a real stop sign. It sure looks like one. Looks like a real stop sign.
I don't know. So I got to sit here and figure out every situation that this would be here for and then make my decision because that's the better way. Yeah. Shut up. You're a liar and you're lying. You're dishonest. And you know that. You're not stupid enough to know this. Everything you're saying, you understand what you're doing. Yeah. You're doing it on purpose because it's all about you and your mumbling ass on. I'm sorry, you're terrible at speaking. It's not my fault. Practice harder. Maybe it's because you're not good at everything in the world, just like I'm not.
Oh gosh.
You're a human. God damn it.
We say
4,000 people lost their jobs one day because you need to show everyone how cool you are.
That is a lot of people.
No, you saw the tweet that I sent you in chat today where he called an all hands meeting and said, if you can't make it in an hour, I'm accepting your resignation. And then he showed up 20 minutes late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did see that.
And then in the tweet thread,
wild,
pretty much admitted that this company is going bankrupt and he doesn't know how long he's going to keep it afloat for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just keep planting those seeds, bro. So then nothing's your fault, even though it's all your fault.
Exactly.
Somehow they were functioning and not going bankrupt the way that it was being run before.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly it's going bankrupt.
Exactly.
But I'm sure we'll blame it on something that's not him.
I'm just ready for social media. I say this as a person who like kind of heavily relies on social media for their job. Kind of ready for it to be over. I don't really know how or what that means, but like Web 2 social media just needs to not be around anymore. I think we're better as a society without all these things. We don't need them. I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
This might be a good thing because recession or the downturn, whatever you want to, people will have less money to spend on frivolous shit. That has not happened yet since these things have been big. 08 was the last one, and they all grew after that. So this whole growth model forever thing is going to get a wake-up call, and these people are going to have to make actual real choices. And Elon thinks he has the solution by making PayPal again. But in reality, he doesn't have any solutions. He never did, and the whole thing was just to prove that he could do it. It's all for him. That's all. That's it. That's all it is. And I really don't want him to get obsessed with like, GMOs are good, and now I need to get rid of all non-GMO food because I need to prove that I'm right with my $100 billion. Like that whole thing, the idea that that's even possible, it needs to be addressed more than Twitter's dying. Twitter, who cares? There's going to be another one. There's going to be something else that we all do in 20 years. Like it's just the way it's going to be. That those things are going to happen, but the people doing the things they're doing for the reasons they're doing them are important to pay attention to, and you need to pay attention. It's just sad, but I think that we're going to be okay. I think people are going to be okay. I feel so terrible for everyone who lost their jobs and just had to figure it out now because one guy who just wants everyone to think how he's awesome could just not just be a normal human for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I say that was a person with some pretty severe cognitive dissonance. I feel like, I don't know. At least I feel like it is owning a product that he is the CEO of is tough. I've actually been thinking about this recently because I'm like I love my car. I'm also at the same time embarrassed to drive it to some extent. Like it's weird. It's weird that I'm not saying all car companies are perfect. Obviously, pick your poison. Like you drive a VW, it's like, well, yeah, some real interesting history there. So they did some really terrible things.
Look up some stuff about old Henry Ford, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stuff like that. So it's like,
I was about to say I have a Ford Bronco now. So
yeah,
and I
pick the hell you want to die on. Yeah, but I've been intrigued by that recently because I think that there's not slight tertiary topic change, but like cognitive dissonance of owning a Tesla while also simultaneously hating everything that the CEO is doing other than Tesla. And then like, wearing Nike or driving a Ford or, we have a level of cognitive dissonance that we just can't die on every hill.
Artists.
Yeah.
It's
like
versus artist debate, right?
We all know about climate change.
Artists. Yeah.
But are we going to move out in the woods and live like on no electricity? No, because the system exists. You can't do it and make any sort of difference.
Yeah.
Like it just
to be fair to your point, Paul, and Trevor, you mentioned this. Elon didn't even make Tesla; he bought it. So
he bought it.
That's right. Yeah,
he didn't invent it. He also bought SpaceX. Guys, he hasn't invented anything. He just is a smart businessman. He makes lots of money. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to move money around. He knows how to evade taxes. Like that's a skill. Every major billionaire, they all know how to do that really well.
Yeah,
they save money that way.
We can't.
It sounds negative and horrible and like evil, but like it's part of it. So anyway, just pay attention to him and the reasons he does things, please. Please,
real bad,
and just maybe determine whether or not things are serving people and not just this other thing. I don't know. I feel like we're just people. We need to be. Everything's for us. I don't know. Just take care of yourself. Take care of each other, guys. Anyway, you guys want me to take us out? I know this one went long, but
we did almost an hour and a half. That's crazy.
We had to hit that. It's just too.
It's too relevant right now. That's what's going on.
You can't ignore it.
No, you can't ignore that. We're actively on it. We're about to tweet that the podcast is live. We're about to do
we're still going to do it until literally everyone we care about is gone from there. Exactly. We're still going to do it because we have to.
Exactly.
Part of it.
Can't wait to buy Twitter Blue for the pod.
Well,
you can't anymore because he suspended it. So
yeah,
that's right. Time. Never mind.
We got time because he tried to roll it out 3 weeks early.
Dumpster fire.
Anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, awesome. Well, geesh. Lord of the Rings was great. We thank you guys for being here. That is the May Contain Action podcast. We're back. We are back. We are trying very, very hard to schedule weekly episodes. I love this. Just like, let's go talk. I loved having Jen on last time too, and
gotta have her
bringing
back.
people on and letting them freaking vibe with us in this way. I just think this is the way. But next week I would love. I have a little path for us to walk down where we get to know us, our nostalgia, and our like the young versions of us, because I don't think we've done that before. Like, I don't know. I want to know your dad's catchphrases, right? I want to know what your dad says.
He's got some.
And I got some. Oh, my dad's a walking catchphrase. Like, you can just pull the string on his back. I got some stuff. So we'll get into that next week. But thank you guys for being here. Listen to the Making an Action podcast on behalf of myself, PM, and Action Jackson, aka Paul. We appreciate you, and we would like you to leave 5 stars. We would like you to tell everybody how great the pod is and to listen to it. And we will see you next week on the Making an Action podcast. Night.